The id is the primitive and instinctive component of personality.
So, what is ego? Ego means self-identification with thinking, to be trapped in thought, which means to have a mental image of me based on thought and emotion. So, ego is there in the absences of a witnessing presence. Ego is a part of mind that mediates between the conscious and the unconscious, and it's responsible for reality testing and a sense of personal identity. So, what is superego? Superego is a part of you that's so judgmental and moralizing, and it's always trying to get you to behave in socially appropriate ways.
Hey, I think you played enough video games for the day. Dude, come on, look at the time, oh.
You should stop that. That's why you're failing.
No, you be quiet.
Played enough for the week, really? Why you don't turn the ball upside down?
Why don't you pick up a real book instead?
According to my boy Sigmund Freud, personality is governed by three different personality structures: what he called the id, the ego, and the superego. Let's begin by talking about the id. According to Freud, this personality structure is fully unconscious, meaning that the id affects our personality in ways that we are not even aware of. The id is kind of similar to the little devil on the shoulder we often see in cartoons, quietly whispering in the ear to be self-serving and behave immorally. The id demands immediate gratification by gaining pleasure, avoiding pain, and reducing tension, what Freud referred to as the pleasure principle. Freud also proposed that this is the only personality structure present at birth. When a 3-month-old girl wakes up hungry in the middle of the night, does she consider how crying might affect others in the house? Does she think to herself, maybe I'll let mom sleep for a few hours before I wake her up? No. Infants demand immediate gratification, gaining comfort and pleasure, and avoiding pain and tension, regardless of who or what it affects. Next, we have the superego. The superego is also mostly unconscious and is similar to the little angel on the other shoulder telling you to take the moral high road, doing well for others. The superego is similar to what we refer to as the conscience, operating on the moral principle. To satisfy this personality structure, we must do or think or feel no wrong. When we do quote-unquote wrong, giving in to the demands of our id, the superego ensures that we feel guilty. Finally, we have the ego. Similar to the cartoon character who is trying to satisfy the devil and the angel, the mostly conscious ego serves as the executive. The ego operates on the reality principle, dealing with the demands of reality while trying to satisfy both the id and the superego. The ego is essentially our conscious selves, or who we perceive ourselves to actually be. In addition, the ego has the ability to unconsciously distort our reality, what we call defense mechanisms. Defense mechanisms will be addressed in detail in our next lecture video.
I know gold is not enough.